Thanks for staying with us. So, moving on now to our hot topic of today. So there's a phrase that lingers in various places, echoes through salons, slips through wedding speeches, resurfaces online and different places. People are saying that women who know their worth do not last in marriage. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with this? When I say know your worth, I mean that women who are confident in themselves, who know the value they bring to the table, many of them usually don't last in marriage. This is somebody's article we're reading. We're just trying to analyze the article to see how true it is. I think the article was written published 6 days ago. Author was Owubudu, Maureen Owubudu was the author of this article. And we found it quite interesting. One of the things I like to quote, she said, too often, marriage is positioned as a prize for good behavior. Be quiet, be soft, be agreeable, be patient, tuck your ambition under your smile, dull your fire. Then maybe you'll be chosen. But if you are too loud, too ambitious, too opinionated, too independent, then you must be one of those women. And the reason why it resonated a bit was because I think I shared this story before. There was a guy that I was dating before my husband. I still saw him fairly recently. I didn't see him for a long time, and the only reason why this brother broke up with me, he said, "You're just too opinionated. You will not be submissive in marriage." He literally told me that I'm too opinionated. You're just saying, just speak your mind. So he felt that was a threat to him being a leader in his home. And I was shocked because I was just wondering what's wrong with this guy. I'm quite from a very, very opinionated family, but so that was his own reason, because you can't tame a Morayo. She's too opinionated. Now, he's probably seeing me today and wondering, how is that man handling her in the house? How is she? How is the man?
And she even brought it into TV.
So these are realities.
I wonder why a woman has to be handled. That statement I've heard is, how are you handling? How are you managing? Why do you need to handle and manage? Why do men feel the need to control? I want to marry a woman I can control. Why? So it will make you feel, it makes you feel like I'm more of a man if I have a woman. Sit down there, the woman sits down. Stand up, he stands up. Don't go to work today. No, sir. So it robs off the ego of the man. But I just feel like we need to change how men see the idea of power. It's not about the fact that this woman obeys everything I say, but the fact that I have a strong woman who is willing to hear me out, argue it out with me, and I am stimulated by our conversation to think differently. I'm stimulated by our conversation to grow, to see more opportunities and possibilities, that I'm not stuck in the way this is how I've always done it. I've heard questions like, when I was growing up, we eat amala and ewedu and megiri and like this. No, it's not really fresh, like this. Like we eat it with fish, not with meat. Can we try with meat? No, we eat it with fish. That's how and as a man, in my house, we will eat it with fish. Wow. Like the little things. So this conversation, this article by Maureen really made me feel like we're not having a conversation about, it's beyond the fact that women who know their worth will not last in marriage. Is that we don't have a society that accepts women who know their worth. It's not accepted. If you know your worth, once you begin to sound like a confident person, marriage counselors, aunties and uncles in the community will start telling you, calm down, you cannot drive that kind of big car, you cannot go and buy a house, you're still single. Because once you come across like a bold, confident woman, you are a threat to men. So we don't have a society that accepts bold, confident women.
Interesting.
For me, I would like to start from history. I've been reading a lot lately on just how things used to be done in ancient times. Of course, not African, but just white people and how they live, because those are the documentations that we have a lot more of. And for me, I noticed that we women were like pets. We were just one of the animals in the house. So there were livestock that were in the farm.
Horses.
Then you had domesticated, was maybe like a dog and a cat, and then we were just a little bit priced above the other pets. That was really how we were seen. So we were owned. And for a man to be a man, he has to be able to own and control and determine how this woman or this pet is. So that's where we're coming from, right? We have now gotten to a point where the woman has evolved, society has evolved, the woman is seen more as a human being, she's making decisions, she's empowered. But for some reason, that evolution for the woman has gone on so much faster than it has for the men. So yes, we have a group of men now who would say to you, I'm unlike my father or my grandfather. I understand that a woman should work. I'm so proud of my woman and everything. And we're excited about them, especially when you're dating them. Until then you marry them. Then you see who they truly are. Then they remind you, I'm an African man. we were having conversations and we're bantering about this. When did it happen? So really, I don't know, is it physiology or is it just nurturing or is it a combination of both? That men actually, I feel that they are their happiest if they feel that they own a woman. Yes, they love you. Yes, they want to support you, but they want you to also know that I gave you the permission. That because I supported you, if you're doing it outside of him, outside his support, then he doesn't really have control over you. There are a few men now, I know a few of them are going to call to argue and say, I'm not one of them. And that's one thing I noticed. The people that come on tables like this and call on TV, they are never part of them. It's when we go home that we meet these people. So yes, I feel that there are people who with education and exposure, they are making the difference, but it's still very much part of how men see themselves. And you know why I say this? We have much younger men now who are dating, and I'm hearing women have the same issues. So there's exposure, there's new information, there's new knowledge. Why are they still like that? So what is it? Maybe, from when we have these conversations, I want us to now start thinking in a way that, is it that the men are flawed or that we have the wrong expectations of what men are or what men should be in a marriage or in a union?
Okay, so I totally agree with her because from the question you just asked right now, I think society plays a big role in this, and upbringing. Upbringing. If you men have grown in a society where they see that a woman, if you don't dare to dream, if you dream, it's not possible because the man will always clamp it. I know of a lady who went to school together. She very intelligent Hausa girl like this. She's very intelligent. She studied medicine, and she finished and she started her housemanship. She got married. She started going, to work and everything. And after some time, the husband now said that, no, that he cannot be sleeping alone in the nights without his wife. You can imagine that he cannot be sleeping alone. No, that he doesn't want her to continue. He doesn't want her to continue with the doctor or whatever. Yes, because that she goes out, when she has night duty. He said no, that he doesn't want it. That he now told her that she should go and meet them in the hospital, that she should put her daytime. And she was like, I'm not the only one that is a Muslim there, and I'm not the only one that is a doctor and married. He said no, that he's not going to agree and everything. And at the end of the day, they took this case home to her parents. She was like, that she cannot quit and everything. They took the thing to the parents. Guess what? The parents agreed and said, your marriage is more important than your career. That was how this medicine career, intelligent babe. She spent, those days when we were in school, you find out that people who went to read medicine, you find out that they just spent maybe 11 years. She spent 7 years, 6 years and one. Yes, she had one extra year, but she spent very intelligent, smart girl. Do you know that as I speak to you right now, she's still at home? That career just died like that. And that is it. Okay. So I agree with her that if a woman knows her worth, her marriage will not go forward.
I have to play the devil's advocate here because it's important for us to see the other side. But let's go to a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Don't play devil's advocate.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.